Sun natives. I'm so excited to drop in with you around this today, where we are going to do a solar return wildcard read for you. But we're going to look at it through the lens of your Native American birth totem, which is the falcon or the red-tailed hawk. And I'm really looking forward to sharing the strengths, the empowerment of the medicine that you carry and how it can really serve you moving forward into this next trip around the sun. I also think that this is a beneficial read for the collective as a whole to drop in around, because Aries Sun natives, you are in that position at the North Node right now. So we can all take a cue from your playbook as far as the right way to move forward in order to hit that mark, because you're definitely coming into alignment with your destiny at this time, which means there were some harsh judgments of the past that you had to rise up out of, things that were the result of acting too impetuously, too impulsively, getting too propelled to move forward and throw caution to the wind by your fiery nature, which you're known for, which is also one of the reasons why you are so enigmatic, so charismatic, so loved and adored, because you do have this natural enterprising spirit. It is part of your makeup. It is part of your medicine as falcon. There's so much that comes with your medicine that I want to drop in with, but I do want to make this connecting point about your North Node position, and as this relates to the collective and why I feel they could be beneficial. Inspirations, that messages that come through in this read for you, even though this is geared toward Aries Sun natives. There are pieces of information that will come through that can serve the collective as well. Just learning from Aries, learning from Falcon, learning from that medicine, what it means to hold that, what it means to carry that. And as a foundation for moving forward into this time when we are really releasing karma and we are transforming our hands of fate into the stuff of our destiny. Okay, so this is really a beautiful journey that we're heading on. And we're also about to start the Kapha Panchakarma tomorrow here as a community. And it's interesting because as an Ayurvedic practitioner, one of the things that always comes in before I lead a Panchakarma is hawk medicine, falcon medicine. So this is just so fitting that we bring this medicine in today. So I hope you all will open up your mind to it, tune into it. It's one of the things I love sharing here as I'm learning more about my own roots. I do have Namana Comanche roots, and it's something I've wanted to dive more deeply into, understand more about, especially living here in the States. This is native land. So I feel like when we're really connected to the land and we honor the roots of our land, there's a certain empowerment in that. And there's so much I could go into with that, but I'm really looking forward to just sharing this medicine that comes with the Aries Sun natives who are falcon or red-tailed hawk, okay? So first of all, you were born during the time of the awakening time. And that's what you are here to do. You are a true visionary hawk. You are a true visionary. You are here to inspire people. You are here to reveal to them a new vision, a new way to move forward, very much in alignment with that energy of the Fool. You lead the charge. You are the first out the gate. You are the one who takes the risk of the Fool, to lead a new way forward. And your medicine is so needed at this time. 4:44 on the clock. Yes, all angels on deck. It is that time when it's about taking a leap, and we hope we land, on a wing and a prayer. And you're carrying the spirit of that energy. You are the one who leads the charge for the quest for wisdom. And this is a big part of your life path. It's a big part of your medicine and what you can share with others about the best way to move forward. You're great strategists, you're excellent leaders, and you know how to really stir the spirit of the people and get them on board. You're very enterprising. You understand the necessity for proper timing. You understand the value of perspective. You do have that bird's eye view. You know how to distance yourself emotionally at times so you can look at things with keen eyesight, get a higher view, a higher perspective of a situation, move out of just the sort of base primal urges, the physical body, the animal body, and pull out to see the great view from above, you know, align with that higher consciousness perspective. And this gives you a tremendous amount of focus as far as setting your sights is concerned. And it's through this that you know how to hit the mark, you know. Think about hawks, you know, the way that they're able to just swoop down and snatch up that prey. It's something that is all about timing. It's not done haphazardly. It's done with a lot of focus, a lot of single-minded focus, and a certain kind of analyzing of conditions. And these are all strengths that your medicine holds. You naturally have a lot of intensity to you. You have intensity to you because fire is your element and your stone is the fire opal. So you have so much natural fire in you. That's what builds up in you. That's what makes you want to shine the way forward for others. It's often what gives you a different view from others because you can kind of see the way ahead before others. That's your role. That's what you're here to do. Even when you look at it through the lens of Western astrology, you are a leader. You lead the zodiac. You're the first out the gate. So there's a lot of this energy, but there's a way to masterfully channel your energy. And that's what you're really needing to do at this time. And it is part of your life lesson to really gain the wisdom to know that sometimes you can't just go with that natural enthusiasm. You have to know how to temper it. That's what the alchemizing is all about. When we think of that temperance card in the tarot, it's that same energy of really being able to understand the give and take, the ebb and flow, and how to be the center point of that while holding both, which is interesting because it's bringing in that south node energy of Libra or the Raven, okay, that is holding down the energy, you know, at this time down there, which is about the balance, the karmic balance, okay? So you are very much of the spirit at this time that you need to kind of like really channel that intensity in an effective way by maintaining your balance so you can hit that mark, right? Another aspect that really comes in with hawk medicine that a lot of people don't think about are those talents, you know, and the ability to, you know, grab a hold of something, okay? And much like your focus and your intensity, when you're charging toward an objective, you can be like a dog with a bone, you know, you're not going to let go of that. But there's also this piece of knowing when to ebb and flow for you. There's times when you have to really temper your fire with the ability to relax, to give over, to surrender, to let go, okay? Let go, let go, let go, let go, let go. And I say surrender, it's a word I don't usually prefer to use, okay? Because I don't feel surrender is very empowering. Surrender is to release under duress, okay? And I prefer to use terms like release or let go because I feel it comes more from a place of empowerment and personal choice. But I think when we're looking at that Aries energy, the Falcon energy, one thing that we have to also remember about that red-tailed hawk medicine is their life lesson is to learn how to let go of ego. There's times when you all can be a little bit too arrogant in a situation, thinking that you have, you know, the understanding because you feel that impetus, you feel the call to move into action. You can have the vision, but sometimes you have to take in a broader view. Sometimes you have to balance that out in order to hit the mark 1022. on the clock. Sometimes you have to balance that out in order to come into alignment with others. And that's such an important piece of holding your medicine, because hawk medicine is also messages from spirit. So when you are here as a visionary and you're here to share your messages from spirit that lead the charge to move forward, you can't just think about your way. There has to be the necessity of looking at what is in the best interest of the collective as well. So that's a big part of the work that you're here to do. So also, you know, remembering how to surrender. And I say surrender because you can give yourself a lot of grief about letting go or releasing. 11:11 on the clock, you know, and once you can come into alignment with yourself and understand that, yes, this is part of my medicine. You know, I'm here to inspire, you know, the collective. I'm here to show them a way forward. I'm here to blaze the trail and take the risk to be a leader, to be a mover, a shaker, a visionary. And I did get this initial download with you as I sat down to do this read for you. The winds from the east came in, which is your direction on the medicine wheel. And it was just such a synchronicity, you know. I really feel like your energy is so coming forward right now naturally because it's your season, but I also feel like you're about to get a lot of messages coming in. I feel like you're going to be much more keenly attuned to your intuition and your inner vision. I got a lot of stimulation coming in from the upper channels, okay? A lot of stimulation coming in around Ajna, the third eye chakra, and your crown chakra. I do feel like you will get those messages from spirit and you're meant to share them, but there's also this piece about make sure that you're taking space to sit with the messages so that as they come, you're not blurting them out without really understanding the full magnitude of the message and what it carries, the charge that it carries. But you can also come to a place where you can learn how to communicate it in such a way that can be received by the collective. And there's this harmonization of your energy that's coming forward at this time. It's interesting too, because normally when we're looking in terms of just how the different directions are associated, you know, naturally, east is often associated with the element of air. But in your case, you're really represented by fire, which is interesting to me though, because the south, okay, south node energy, the south is really related to that element of fire, you know, normally. And it's also associated with tree medicine and getting really rooted down. Now I'm speaking in terms of like a fairy perspective, bringing in a little bit of fairy shamanism here, okay? So it's interesting because I feel like you're also being called to work with that southern energy, the southern energy on the medicine wheel. And I encourage you to study that, and I encourage you to research that. And there's a wonderful YouTube channel. I'll put the link in the comments, okay? A wonderful native woman who teaches all about the medicine wheel and how to work with it, okay? And so I'm going to guide you all that way. So if you do feel drawn to this, you can explore it. But I feel like you're needing the medicine of the South, you know, you're needing the medicine of the South as we move through this next year of your solar return, all right? It will support you. So I also get this piece about, while you do have a lot coming in this next year, a lot, 1444 on the clock, this is going to be a big change for you. A big change for you coming into alignment with this guidance. And it's also going to be like a roadmap for your future. You're getting like the architecture of your future, but you're going to download it first. You see it in your mind's eye before you see it sprawl out before you. But in order for you to really activate it, so you can transform that old karmic cycle into the stuff of your destiny. It was 1511 on the clock. Deep healing going on here. Also radical change, the beginning of radical change for you that leads you into direct alignment. I'm seeing so many numbers, synchronicities for you as I'm doing this reading, and they're all master builders. 11, 22, 44. These are the numbers that are coming in, and 5. So I know it's a time of change. I also know it's a time of change that at times can make you feel a little shaky, a little unstable, and that's why you need that medicine of the South so much. That's why you need that medicine of the South when we're looking at like fairy shamanism. You need that medicine of working with tree medicine, you know, spending some time with trees, sending down your roots from your root chakra, all right? Right at that tip of your tailbone, and shooting your roots down into the core of the earth, and just visualizing drinking up the energy and filling your body, because there's going to be so much coming in here. So when you think about pulling down that ether and that air energy and then activating with your natural intensity of your fire element, it can move you into too much impetuousness, all right? Yes, look at this. King of Swords in reverse, okay? We don't want to move too impetuously. We don't want to communicate things too quickly, say things, let them just come out of our mouths without tempering them first with the perspective, the understanding. So you're really going to need to rely on this at this time as you move through this next cycle, right? It's going to be so important for you. You also could be dealing with an air sign energy. We also have to remember air feeds the fire, all right? All right, so this is thoughts fueled with passion. Must be tempered with what? Water element. Merge it with the heart. Okay, that's that kapha energy, right, that we're going to be bringing in with the panchakarma. So this is some really cool energy you got in play here, and a lot that you can bring forward to share with your medicine, you know. And for you, the important thing is, yes, you know, you can be very impulsive and you can be very spontaneous. And on one hand, these are wonderful qualities to have. You know, fortune does favor the brave. Sometimes you do need to take a risk. But here's what really needs tempering for you in this next cycle, and that is your tendency to just like go for the novelty or the thrill of the moment. This can apply in any pursuit, any direction you're inspired to go in, because you're such an enthusiastic person by nature, okay? You're such an enthusiastic person by nature that you can tend to just sort of like rush ahead. You'll rush in where angels fear to tread, and then you go, oh my gosh, what am I dealing with now? You know, it can get really riled up. And that's where just going with your own personal impulsiveness can sometimes cause a lot of disarray or cause challenges in your relationships. This can be one of your challenges in relationships too, is that you like novelty, you know, you like the newness, you like the feeling of like the butterflies in the stomach, you like the feeling of that excitement getting stirred up. But when it comes to really following through and committing and sticking through it, that's where you tend to have more difficulty. And this is with everything. It can be with a creative pursuit. It can be with a plan, like, oh, you know, I want to move and I want to go here. And you can feel very like fired up about that, you know. But if you don't remember to really temper and think of it long range by panning out, getting that perspective, really having a good look at what that entails, and getting in touch with it, marrying it with that water energy, with your heart, getting your emotions on board, really feeling things out, looking beyond just your perspective, also understanding the collective perspective. You know, that's how you can prevent there being disruption. That's how you can prevent there being messes to clean up. That's how you can prevent from moving sort of like all over the place on your path in such a way that it's all these grand ideas, but there's not the follow through. So this year is about you following through, Hawk, okay? And in order to do that, sometimes you're going to have to lay down boundaries, because I think of Hawk medicine and I think of those talons, you know, and really clearly defining your boundaries and letting people know when they can't cross certain lines, right? Because you are strong individually, and it's important that you maintain that sense of self-agency as well. You need that in order for you to truly thrive, okay? And as far as your plant ally is dandelion, all right? And that's so you, all right? That's so you, Hawk, to have that that wish, right? The wish. And here's the thing with you, since you do lead the charge, when you make a wish, when you have a vision, and you set the seeds of that free on the wind, I mean, its impact really carries. It carries far and wide, okay? So I feel like this is going to be the year that you're really going to come into alignment with your vision. You're going to do that transformational work of the South Node. You're ready to step into your North Node. You're learning this place of temperance. You're learning when to let go and not have to surrender, you know, not make it something that it means you're losing, you know what I mean? Instead, you're going to come to see it as, no, actually, when I let go, I gain, okay? That's when I come into alignment with what's right for me. You know, the impulsivity can cloud your reason at times, so it's really about tempering also the passion with reason as well. And I do see this like masterfully coming about in you. I think you're really stepping into your strength in this regard. So let's see, let's do a little read for you and dive into your energy and see what is coming in for Falcon over the next year of their solar return. What should they focus on? How can they best use their medicine? What messages does Great Spirit want to pass on? Falcon tribe. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Let's see, right here we have the star in reverse. So I do feel like I'm getting this message. It sort of makes me think a little bit of Heyoka medicine in the respect of, and Heyoka medicine to me is very similar to fairy in the sense of what seems upside down is actually right side up. What looks like it's moving backwards is actually propelling you forward. There's a lot happening for you with time right now. I feel like there's this calling for you to enter the timelessness of the now. So instead of you sort of like being locked in this place where you're perpetually healing and doing this self-reflection, okay? When I think of that self-reflection, it reminds me of the story of Narcissus, who also stared into a pool of water. And there's a point where when we contemplate our navels for too long, it actually becomes self-indulgent. And there's this piece here about you're really meant to lead a charge. You're meant to lead a charge forward. And it's absolutely empowering for you, and it activates your destiny. But there's this piece where as long as you're only looking at it through the lens of what you're desiring or what you're feeling in a situation, it's actually creating a blockage on your path from what you need to fulfill you to actually come in. So there's this piece here about really panning out, you know. Too much self-reflection can move you into a place of stagnancy at this time. And you've been in the South Node for a while. I do feel like you've been closing up a really heavy karmic cycle. But it's time to divert the focus from what happened back there and instead come into the timelessness of the present. Because it's actually going to just that simple shift of focus to focusing on the present moment will instead let the water start to pour into you. You know, you can receive the nourishment from above. and this will actually water your north node, okay? It will allow you to grow in the direction of your north node so you can receive this blessing, all right? You could be dealing with an Aquarius. There could have been something that came up in Aquarius season that was very significant for you, all right? So the opening of the year might have been very important for you. You might have spent a lot of time in reflection at that time, and you might still not be moving forward with the information that you gained back there, okay? You're internalizing it too much with the moon. Pisces energy, Cancer energy, okay? There's something here that has been suppressed in such a way. It's being held down into the south node when it's meant to water and nourish and grow your new direction forward. Right. So there's something here. There's a need to move out of that place of confusion that happens. It can happen when we internalize the energy for too long and we don't act on the guidance, the wisdom. Then it can become, like I was saying, that self-indulgence that just can keep us stuck. We don't understand that, oh, when I gain this wisdom and I've nurtured this and I've found my reflection in it, when we find our reflection in something, we're also finding the reflection of the all, because it's all one unified energy. And you're the leader. So you're meant to use that, you know, to propel you forward. So this is kind of like coming through as a message of it's time to stop focusing on the past and what happened and to come into the present, because where you are feeling confusion or uncertainty about the best way to move forward, you will discover it by being very focused on the present moment. That looks basically like every time you find your mind going back to the past, you just say, hey, pay attention. Because that's also falcon medicine, hawk medicine. Pay attention. That cry, you hear the cry of the hawk, it alerts you. It sounds unlike any other bird, right? And you pay attention when you hear that hawk cry. You know, there's something you need to pay attention to here. You see, look, these all came in reverse too. We have the Tower in reverse. We have the Ten of Cups in reverse. We have the Four of Cups in reverse. Okay. So I'm telling you, this is the energy. There's a tower that's fallen, right? And they're still reflecting on the disappointment of that, holding on to that. And as this is going on, it's just this, it's indulging in the melancholy of it. It's indulging in the loss of it. It's that indulgence that can move to the place of feeling like sorry for ourselves. Like, why did that have to happen? Or in some cases, sometimes beating ourselves up. Like, I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have done this. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. It doesn't make a difference. It doesn't help you lead the charge moving forward. All right. So where you have felt like, I don't understand, like I'm not clear. I don't understand. I feel like I'm fumbling in the dark here about the best way to move this forward. I know what's needed. I feel that. I know what I would like to turn around. I know what I would like to rebuild after everything was leveled, after everything was lost. I don't know quite how to bring it together. You can't receive the guidance about how to bring it together, though, if you're looking back at the past. In order to receive your messages and align with your vision and your intuition, you need to be in the present moment. That's why it's so important for you to pay attention right now. Every time you find yourself looking back, bring yourself right here. Every time you find yourself worrying about the future, projecting forward, come right back here, okay? Because I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot of intuition coming through for you. And it's going to show you a different perspective. I caught like big yoga medicine coming in around you. Like, it's that oppositional viewpoint. It's a much broader perspective. You'll pan out and you'll see that this is actually the seed of fulfillment. You can't see it right now. And especially with eclipse season in play, we just had the South Node full moon eclipse in Libra, okay, we got your new moon coming up on the 8th, and it's a total solar eclipse. So there's something surprise at work here, I feel. I feel a rabbit out of the hat moment, yes. And all you need to do is just trust with the 4 of Swords. There's a certain truth you gained with Falcon𓅃, okay, associated with that east, right? The air energy. Okay. You can rest on this truth. And you're sending up prayers for some kind of healing from some kind of heartache. If you just trust, that light is going to pour through. It will illuminate the way forward, right? Just hold tight. Your prayers have already been answered, right? It's just about you coming into the present moment so you can really receive the guidance and understand the steps you need to take to move forward. I can't make it up, and there's a star upright. I love that. Is that not beautiful? What's behind that? Look at that. 9 of Cups, right? And there's that personal fulfillment. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny? We realize when we gain that wisdom, which is what your life quest is all about, gaining that wisdom. When we really do consider the collective, we actually do get personally fulfilled. Because we are that. There's no separation. There's something about this that you're understanding. You're understanding that when you do pour into others, you also are more fulfilled. Right? There's something about this moving out of fear, moving more into a trust space. Trusting that you can be supported. And there's something about this that allows you to have more of a willingness to let down your guard and support others in turn. And you're starting to experience the reciprocal flow of that. Yes. And this is what you gained during your time in the shadow, right? While you were walking through that valley of the shadow of death, right? You gained a certain wisdom. You could have been dealing with a Virgo. You could have been dealing with a Scorpio. But after that time of loss and letting go, you found a new wisdom. You built your light within, and it's about to lead you forward, right? One more round of this, and then I'm going to pull out another deck for you. Okay, so where is this wisdom leading you forward? You have spent quite a time really in a self-reflective space. You have spent quite a lot of time being in hermit mode, keeping to your own company. Like I said, there were things that you needed to sort out. You needed to get a different perspective. You also understood the necessity of proper timing. There may have been some times when you learned some rough lessons about that, about when timing was off and the disastrous results that were produced because of that. Because there was a strong desire to push ahead, even though certain elements weren't in alignment. Ooh, okay. Interesting energy coming out here with that. Yeah, look at that. This is the card that flew off. We have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, okay? So yes, I think you experienced what it's like to be on the lower side of that Wheel of Fortune, to feel like you were dealing with a reversal of fortune. These were heavy-duty karmic matters to resolve. This is when the devil won, okay? This is when the devil won. The devil was steering the course and was taking you to hell in a handbasket, all right? But this was necessary for shadow integration, okay? So there's some transformation that happened here. And again, South energy, the totem associated with South medicine is the snake, right? So it's wild how that piece is coming in, lining up with the directions, okay? And snake is all about that transformation, shedding old skins, shedding old identities. Maybe you'd come to identify yourself with this devil. Maybe you had taken on unnecessary guilt. Maybe you gave away your power to some outside authority or some habit, something that was really making you feel disempowered. I feel like you needed to dance with that devil in the pale moonlight so you could integrate these lessons with that snake medicine there. because there was an inner riddle you had to solve with the Sphinx here, okay, to lead you to that truth that you now rest on, that frog rock. And the truth now, the truth only has power if you actually take action. You got to pull frog rock from its sheath before it actually activates the power. So I feel like you're resting on a truth right now. But what's been missing is the action to back it up, especially with the Wheel of Fortune in play here. It's like as soon as you take that action, the wheel will turn. It brings you into alignment with your North Node. We saw that with the way the star turned around. You could be dealing with a Sagittarius. You could be dealing with a Taurus, a Leo, a Scorpio, or an Aquarius in this regard. All right. Let's see what came in. We also had this crossing energy over the death. Oh, Lovers in reverse. Gemini energy, having to make an important decision, a life-changing decision, and refusing to make it. Refusing to make it because feeling pulled in both directions simultaneously to the point where it feels like you're being ripped in half. What's crossing over here? Yes. Yes, trying to really get aligned with what is the true direction of my heart, with the King of Cups here, to that full energy, your energy, also Aquarian energy, to the 10 of Wands, feeling in the dark about that, feeling it's a burden. It's a burden to feel so much. It's a burden to have so much passion. It's a burden to hold all this energy. It's a burden. I feel burned out. I feel burned out. This is also you working really hard to forge a new way, to create a new way to go move forward. And here's sort of like your key to move beyond this. It's really like you need the water right now. You need to come into your heart. And when we come into our hearts, when we truly come into our hearts, we come into that place of emotional receptivity. The heart needs to open in order to be able to receive. And I do feel like you went through so much that there's been a lot of resistance built up there, and there's been like a firewall put up around the heart, and this needs to come down. Once that comes down, and once you stop feeling like I got to do it all by myself because I have to look strong, I have to be the one in charge, I have to lead the charge. I mean, heavy is the head that wears the crown. But on another angle here, collectively, you also have to remember that it's important to say, hey, you know, I could use someone to talk to, or I could use a little support. I feel really burdened, or I don't understand, you know, and about really aligning with people that make it safe to do that too. Make it safe to do that too. I do feel like kind of a mixed bag for you in terms of how you're moving into your solar return. I feel like some of you feel like you missed a date with destiny, or you somehow got thrown off the track of destiny because you got distracted. You got distracted by a particular devil that led you down a dark alleyway. Yeah. But you know what? Spirit left a light on, all right? So you do have your inner light that you gained through that experience. So you can make new choices. You can make new choices, all right? Once you really recognize this, you'll move forward, all right? You'll move forward. You'll take with you the caution, all right? The caution of the past, but it's not meant to hold you back. Right? You're meant to travel light to move forward into your future. All right, let's do a cut of the deck, and then I want to pull out some different cards for you here. And there it is again. Do you see? You have to remember, you need to temper your fire with rest, with relaxation, your action with receptivity. So I also feel like this is a balancing point for you. You know, you don't have much longer of this more like kind of like rest period. This energy is about to get moving, but currently you're in this place of temperance, and I love that it came out because I really was feeling this card's energy signature all over your solar return. Again, you could be dealing with a Sagittarius, okay? There's a balancing out here. See how the cups pour into each other. Temperance has 1 foot on land, 1 foot in that water. And that's how things grow. That's how things grow. Huh. 2 of Cups after that. This is a healing happening for you. A restoration. Coming into alignment. Coming into alignment with another as well. Okay? Really beautiful energy. Really beautiful energy. We know that something was hung up on the crossroads here, all right, with the Hangman. Again, Piscean energy. You needed to get a different perspective here. You did need to experience a certain healing so it could bring this rebirth for you, but here it comes with the Magician. Look at that. There's your North Node energy. There's you taking the action. You're going to pull that sword from its sheath. You're going to take that action. That turns it into that like Spear of Lu energy. Now you're merging the air with the fire. Now you're going places. Just like with that Nodes of Destiny, you know, you got to merge that air element from the Libra South Node, you know, the energy on the opposite side of the zodiac from you. And you have to marry that with your truth, right? Your truth, the swords, with that action, right? That's when you shoot for the moon and you will hit the mark. Okay, so you're about to really step back into your energy in a big way. We see that your energy was out of balance. I mean, that Tower was in reverse there. Tower is one of the cards that's associated with you in the major arcana. But here we got the Fool upright, Magician upright. So you're about to come out of this energy. You're about to come into alignment with your answers, but there is a need for you to really just like rest on a certain truth. Stop looking back at the past and come into the present moment. Stop projecting too much into the future. Like your focus is so needed at this time, but then you'll hit the mark. You'll get that Stone of Destiny. You'll activate your North Node. This is the seed to plant that will bring abundance in the fall. All right. This is the seed to plant that will bring you abundance in the fall, Hawk. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull out some other cards here. What do I want to pull in for you? I feel really compelled just because there was so much imagery with Temperance that came in. I think I'm going to pull out the Angel Tarot for you, okay? Gabriel energy's been coming in for you. Gabriel sounding the horn, the judgment's in, okay? This is your time of rebirth. That's what I'm really picking up off of you, okay? It's like that Phoenix rising kind of energy. Look at this, bottom of the deck, 10 of Cups. Beautiful. There's that fulfillment that eluded you. You had 10 of Cups before in reverse. Now it's coming to light. Now it turns upright. Remember, it's that energy. What seems upside down is actually right side up. You played a little bit of a trick on yourself. You know, you needed to go in circles for a bit before you could really set your sights on the truth. Says divine warrior confounds the wicked, brings victory and peace. Okay, so you're really transforming a lot. It's potent, it's powerful. You've been doing the work. The more that you can come into the present moment, the more that you're going to find that it's just, you know, such an easy, it's an easy flow to, you know, your field of dreams. It's not something that you have to constantly like grapple and struggle with. You'll just naturally move with the flow of life, with the current of life. Okay. Think of like lava flow. Like I'm seeing this imagery of, you know, the lava flows with the volcanoes and the way that the lava merges with the sea. It merges with that water energy. And it forms a new topography. It's like it forms new land, you know, it's that same kind of energy. It's like you've had so much fire and you've had so much, you know, of that swords energy, the mental focus. And once you merge it with the water, once you merge it with your feelings, once you allow yourself to take down that firewall, then you're going to get the flow that, you know, creates the new road forward, like the road rises up to meet you. Instead of being like pressurized. I feel like you hit a pressurized point, right? It would be really good for you to move your body. You need to move your body. You need to get exercise in. you're not currently exercising, get your body moving. It'll help you out so much, right? You need to channel some of that fire. I feel like you got pressurized fire. That could even be making you feel really burned out. As you clear the fire, though, through movement, it's also going to allow you to get in touch with the water element. Your emotions will come forward, right? And then that is what really allows you to move into the flow of the new lay of the land that is wanting to sprawl out before you. Yeah, the tower upright, okay? That's when the tower comes in. Disruption warns of disasters, aids in transformation. Do you see? Look at that sword. It's like just getting activated here with Uriel. And Uriel also protects, okay? So I feel like this is an opportunity for you really to heed, heed that warning cry that comes from Falcon, right? To heed the cry and take some time here to really get yourself centered, pull your energy back from focusing on the past. Allow yourself to come into the present and allow this information to come in. This is like messages from spirit that you're going to receive. It's going to awaken you, okay? So I feel like you've got a tower coming, but the tower is like, it's to make you have a totally different view of a situation. It's something that comes as an illumination, okay? So don't fear this, all right? It may seem disruptive. You may have even been feeling this coming. You might have been really tired lately. You might have felt like you needed a lot more sleep, a lot more rest. This is because your body is being prepared to, receive a major download, okay? Do feel like there's some kind of awakening moment. You suddenly see something totally differently than you saw it before. It's a very definitive moment. It's like a lightning bolt coming down that awakens the consciousness. And from there, you're propelled into action. I see like your chariot coming forward, okay? You're not going to be stuck anymore. A lot of transformation coming in for you. See? But right now, this is where you're at. 9 of Pentacles in reverse. All this came out in reverse too. 2 of Swords in reverse. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. 8 of Cups in reverse. I'm telling you, there has never been a more important time for you to stop focusing on the past or stop worrying about the future and to come into the present, because it's like spirit's trying to get your attention right now. All of the elements you need for the activation of your destiny are there. They're available to you. But it's because your energy is dissipated. In order to make full use of the power of your totem medicine, you have to be able to focus. That's how you activate your vision. And that's how you move forward in a way that really implies self-mastery, where you really harness your fire and you channel it to blaze a trail forward instead of it being destructive. So there's such a message coming in here. Do you see? Because everything you need is here. Let me turn it upright for you so I can explain this to you. What's on deck here? The 9 of Pentacles. Totally in that place of that pre-emperor, pre-empress energy, like really ready to step up into that place of sovereignty that activates that stone of destiny. This is where you're at right now. You just don't see it. You don't recognize it in you because you're sort of caught up in a hall of mirrors. You're looking at reflections of the past, things that, were put on you, projections that were put on you that you integrated and you mistook for yourself, for your own identity. You're meant to shed that. You're meant to move forward and see yourself as you presently are, right? It says submission to higher order identifies traitors and destroys their plans. And this is also the thing, like sometimes we're our own traitor. We don't recognize our own strength. We don't recognize our own gifts. We don't recognize what we have to offer, our contribution. And so we perpetually hold ourselves back and we play the blame game. We say, oh, it's because this happened to me. That's why I'm where I'm at. Or it's because of this person over here, and that prevents a forward motion. All right. There's something about needing to see who you are now. And also, you may still be kind of spending a little time dancing with the devil. There may be certain people that you're aligned with that aren't the best for you to align with. They don't support your higher vision for moving forward. But I feel like that's where your tower is coming in. You're going to have a clearer understanding of who you are meant to share the road with and who you may need to leave behind, or where you are needing to transform certain habits in your life. So you haven't walked away yet. You haven't cleansed what needs to be cleansed yet with the 8 of Cups in reverse. So you're holding up the transformation and you feel stuck in adversity, but you're not stuck. It's that, you know, you need to pour a little something out for the homies, okay? Because these people, some of the people, places, things that you've aligned yourself with, they actually block your new beginning. They block your Ace of Pentacles, but they can only put it on pause, okay? Nobody can take your destiny from you. It's always up for grabs, but you have to rise to the challenge. You know, you have to quest for your destiny. Destiny is not handed to you. Fate is handed to you. Destiny is what you make of your fate, right? And that's the challenge being issued to you. It's like you have everything you need. You have all the building blocks. You just have to stop indulging in the reflection of the past and what was done to you, or your feelings of any sense of being a victim or taken advantage of. Or this is about you really stepping into your personal empowerment and the present moment to activate the change you want to see in your life. Then you'll come into alignment, because what's on deck for you is divine blessings. And you can drive away all these evil spirits, okay? So, you know, in shamanistic perspective, you know, something like apathy, you know, guilt, resentment, these can be like entities. We can feed them so much focus that they become like spirits in and of themselves. So there's a need to drive these spirits out, okay? So you can claim what's rightfully yours. And all that's missing is this. Okay, you're blocked right now with the 2 of Swords. You're blocking it's too internalized. The energy needs to move outward. All right. Breaking the circle will lift your opposing barriers and will bring you victory, but you haven't done this yet. Okay. You haven't done this yet. You're still kind of a little bit in hermit mode. All right. Self-preservation mode. All right. And there's a need to turn this energy around. Oh, yeah. And then we got that South Node energy upright with the Queen of Swords. You could be dealing with the Queen of Swords. You could be dealing with a Libra. You could be dealing with someone who's your opposite. All right. Look at that. See the swords on fire. Now the air marries with the fire to that spear of lube. Right. Then you can acquire all the treasures of heaven and earth. Right. Once you are able to actually act on what you know to be true. You could also be dealing with any air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You may have strong Libra in your chart. This is really, okay, now we're not going to focus on the past. Now we're rising up. We're building the new, okay? Right, one more round here, and then we'll do a cut of the deck to just cap this off. So it does look like you're in a big growth time, okay? And it looks good. As soon as you just stop focusing so much on the past, you're going to see such a better way forward. Yeah, this is what's crossing you right now. It's the 8 of Swords, okay? It's self-imposed imprisonment. And only you can free yourself from your own mind, right? There's something you need to see here. You know, you're having a disconnected experience. It's like you've cut yourself off at the neck. Everything is up here. It's too logical. It's too troubled in the mind. There's too much focus in the mind. You need to drop it down, root it in the body, root it in your belly, root it in your heart, you know. Come back into your feeling nature. This is the key. Truth and justice, protection from enemies. Who would steal one's fortune? So where you did feel like maybe, hey, I was robbed of my destiny, or, you know, that went off track, or that's not the way that was supposed to turn out. No, you're not off track. It was a necessary detour so you could learn a certain lesson. That's part of aligning with our destiny. We have to gain certain medicine, certain strengths from facing certain challenges. It's an initiation of sorts. You've been going through an initiation. Well, the door's here. You got all the keys you need to open the door to the new chapter in your life, but you have to act on what you know and stop feeling like you're trapped or you're disempowered or you don't have the answers, because you do. You just have to make space in your consciousness for those answers to become activated. Because right now there's too much focus on back there. It doesn't even feel really focused on future orientation a whole lot. I mean, I think you do have your daydreams, but there's a lot of energy that feels like it's still too rooted in the past. Ace of Swords, that's the truth. And you see, you just got to act on the truth. You got to act on your truth. All right? Know who you're aligned with. Know who you're not. Know who holds you back. Know who doesn't have your back. Know who's working against you. What works against you. What aspects of yourself are holding you back, and cut it off. Draw a line under that definitively. Move forward, charge forward. Ha! I cannot make it up. Look what it leads you to. Your 10 of Cups. So, I mean, what a message. This just keeps coming through for you. Divine warrior confounds the wicked, brings victory and peace. God, master of the universe, all right? Come on, Skeletor. You know? You got to rise to the challenge, okay? Rise to the challenge by the power of Grayskull. Yeah, there may have been some things that held you back. You know, there may have been. But, you know, in order to really be able to lead a charge, you need to find a sense of true connection, like rooted in your spirit, in your heart. It's like, yeah, this is worth, you know, rising to the challenge for. That's what you need to, you know, that's what you need to really connect with right now. It's all here for you. I mean, you're absolutely going to activate your destiny as soon as you do this, okay? As soon as you come into the present moment, all that guidance you need is coming in. It'll lay it out for you, man. That road will rise up to meet you. You'll know exactly what you need to do. Your strategy will be on lock. You will hit the mark. I mean, it's very clear. And where you were being held back, there's a karmic balancing happening here. What was wronged will be righted. Cut of the deck energy. 2 of Pentacles, okay? So, yes, please, you know, make contact, you know, make contact with your spiritual roots, make contact with your ancestors, you know, maybe offer up some offerings, maybe in cases where you know you need to balance out with another, you know, maybe make a peace offering, okay? This will bring balance. This is what you're in the process of doing right now. And it may feel like there's been just like one thing after another to fend off with the 9 of Wands, right? I know it's been a long, hard road, at times hard road that's been hard times and bitter tea, all right? But there's something here where, you know, you can come out ahead. There's 2 victory wreaths here. So I do feel like you're balancing something out with another. 58:33 on the clock, 13:33 there, right? Coming into power in a balanced way, sharing power instead of needing to have all the power, greeting each other from a place of mutual respect, empowerment. That's really good. Universal medicine, elevation of the soul, and the revelation of the mysteries. 58:55 on the clock. I mean, you're absolutely transforming something here that balances out the power, and that leads to 6 of Wands, your victory, you hitting the mark, you overcoming what held you back. Yes, you will activate your enterprising spirit. Fortune favors the bold, and you have longevity here, and nothing is going to hinder your rise to that North Node. Congratulations, Hawk. Fly with speed.